have to pee. I have to pee really, 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 really bad. But maybe I'll just talk first. Hello! A while ago I built a floor tom for my DIY drum kit. And it is possibly the worst tom ever. But that's okay. Hold on. Let's fucking go, dude. Like a professional. So the idea was to try and figure out how shittily I could build a stave drum. And if you don't know stave drums, it's one of the ways people actually build actual drums. But this is very much not the same. I'll just put it down for a moment. It's quite heavy. It's quite a heavy drum. So the idea with stave drums is that you have a bunch of pieces of wood, and then you cut each piece to a little bit of an angle here. So then as you glue the pieces together, then there will be a little bit of an angle. And then as you have a bunch of these, they form a perfect circle. And then after that you work on the wood and, make it thinner and make it actually round. And the staves, of course, are not this wide. They are maybe more like this. Maybe. This is it compared to me. I think there's usually like 20 or more staves in one drum. Hold on, I might be lying. How many staves? What the fuck is a stave? It's a 16 to 20, at least in 14-inch drums like this one. And mine has 16. But, shit. Whoop. But I don't have any way to cut the wood to some cool angles and shit. So I decided to try out if we can build it without the angles and without a lot of things, but still make it a playable drum. And it kind of works, but it's definitely not a good drum. As the staves and, the edges and everything is kind of very uneven. The drum head doesn't resonate very well, so the sound is always kind of dampened. And the wood I used for this is just some old crappy pallet wood, and I did not use real drum lugs because the shell is very uneven and regular lugs wouldn't work. So I just used a bunch of these, these big metal corner thingies and some nuts and bolts. And like I said, there's not a lot of sustain in the drum and it's not very responsive when you're playing it. Oh, and also, as this is not really a round shell, then the drum heads are kinda, tensioned weirdly and unevenly. So tuning the drum is also kinda hard. But, it is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. Who gives a fuck? Now, let's go and see how I built it. I started building the drum by cutting the pieces of wood, and I also started shaping the edges to a little bit of an angle, but I quickly just gave up. I taped the pieces together and then tried to form a sort of a circle. And as the staves are not cut to the correct angles, I can't really glue them together. So instead I just took some pieces of aluminum sheets I had left over from something else and kind of just bent them to a roundish shape and attached them inside the drum. And then I also used, once again, a bunch of these, these metal corner things, but smaller, to attach some of the staves from the outside. I just hammered them to a wider angle and, yeah, used them like this. And I used similar larger metal pieces to attach the legs. And the legs are also just 3 pieces of pallet wood. And then lastly, I made a very, very crude bearing edge so the drum heads would resonate a bit more. And now we've got ourselves a tom drum. Let's go and hear what it sounds like. Bonk, 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 bonk. Well, it is definitely not a good tom, but to me it sounds surprisingly okay for how shitty it actually is. And I feel like it can actually be used for, making music. And that's what we'll do next. Let's go and make some music with it. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bonk.